So that was the last time the E90 probably left home, because, and this is very exciting, we're on a road trip up north, well I guess Midlands technically, but from where I am on the south coast it is very much north, travelling over 200 miles. Do love a good road trip. It has been ages since I did anything like this. I suppose I sort of did it with the E46 M3, but this is even further and I don't have to catch a train, so it is actually just exciting. So why are we on this road trip? Well, a couple of videos ago I posted my experience of trying to sell the E90 on eBay, which did not go very well. It was a fail, and at the end of that video I concluded that the way I needed to get rid of it was to part exchange it in for my new car, which I have been wanting for quite some time, ever since that M3 left my home and left the channel. So I have identified the car, I've been in touch with the dealer. He's agreed to part ex the E90N for £750, which is the amount that the second auction on eBay ended, so I'm quite happy with that. And that deals with the E90. But the thing you'll want to know is, what are we buying? I'm going to keep you in suspense a little bit, but I will drop some hints. So this is a car that back in the day, so my mechanicking days, was very high on my want list, and in my head I just assumed that I would own one at some point, but then time passes by, time moves on, focuses change, ambitions change, and I guess it just dropped off the radar. And I think it was making my relatively recent My Journey video, in which I sort of explain my journey from leaving school to where I am now and why I'm on YouTube, that revisiting the site of where I used to work as a mechanic reminded me of those wants and dreams that I once had. So staying in the time of me being a mechanic and wanting this car, it was a car that I did used to work on from time to time, but only 3 or 4 times maybe in my 5.5 years as a mechanic did I get to work on one of these cars or hop in the passenger seat on a road test when someone else had been working on the car. It was always extremely exciting when one of these cars came in. It was always exciting when the Astra VXR, which is the car that I said in my journey video that was the car that I wanted at the time, it was exciting when one of those came in the workshop to work on, like really exciting. But this car we're going to look at today and hopefully buy is next level special. It's particularly special to me, but I would imagine most people would think, yeah, that is a rare and unique, I'll use the word again, a special car. And if that isn't enough of a clue, I recently posted a short video asking you guys what car you think I should buy, and there were 4 choices on there. Oh, is that one of the cars that was on my short list? Yeah, it is. I could be buying that, guys. What do you think? Should I, Given you know that I worked as a Vauxhall mechanic, that narrows down the choices to 3. So a bit more of the specifics about this actual car. It is pretty low mileage. It has done 33,000 miles. I've run an HPI check, which has come up clear, all the usual things, not stolen, not on finance, not written off. And it's got the mileage graph, which checks out. It's a 25-year-old car. This is very much my era of car, the noughties. It's very much my style of Vauxhall. I think by now you may well have enough information to have guessed what it is. Let's not waste any more time. Let's skip to the dealer. So I have 156 miles to go, but you don't need to do those. I will take you there now. Here we go. There it is. Over 4 hours of driving and 230 miles, we've arrived, and here is the new car. Oh man, I've just bought a VX220 and I'm starting my journey home. I just had to stop to film this clip. This is so exciting. As I said earlier, I always assumed I'd own one, but here it is. It's mine. Right, let's get it home. 4-hour journey awaits. VX220 in my garage, how cool. Well, let's put it to bed now. I need to go to bed now as I've been driving all day and I'm rather tired, so I will come back refreshed to talk more about the VX220. And this is it then, the updated fleet. We've gone from 50-50 split between BMW and Vauxhall to 3 Vauxhalls, 100% Vauxhalls, and I'm very happy with that particular situation. Like other petrol heads, I dream of Lambos and Aston Martins, and who knows, maybe one day I will bring one to the channel. But today I've transported myself right back to my mechanicking days, back where it all started with the fleet of Vauxhalls and now the VX220. My dream Vauxhall, and here are 5 reasons why I chose the VX220 as the car I bought to replace the M3. Number 1, we're going to need to open it up. I just love how raw and simple this car is. Unlike all the electrical issues that you get on modern day cars, you can still get electrical issues on this, don't get me wrong, but you are far less likely to. So at the front of the car, we've got the radiator, we've got an ABS ECU, and come with me to the back where we have the engine. So this is the 2.2 naturally aspirated engine, but the point being that that is the engine ECU, as opposed to the Astra, which is only 4 years younger than the VX220. The Astra has an engine ECU and the ABS ECU, but also has the steering wheel control module, which I'm having fun and games with at the moment, as you'll see in my next video on the Astra. We've got a body control module, it's got CAN bus, it's just got all sorts of things that can go wrong, and that's only a 2005 car. Compare that to a modern day car, things have moved on even more with even more computers to go wrong. So under here we only have the absolute essentials, as is the case back here. Even the engine that I've chosen, the 2.2, is as simple as we could go. It's not as quick as the 2-litre turbo, but without the turbo it is more straightforward. That's not to say that I wouldn't like a 2-litre turbo VX220, but I think in a future video I'm going to talk more about the value for money of the VX220 and how much it cost, and I think then the 2.2 versus the 2-litre turbo discussion comes into play, so I'll leave that for now. And in the cabin, it is just simple. I love it. You got buttons for the lights, you've literally got the bare essentials: windscreen wipers, indicators. Let's bring you in. No climate control. Who can remember just having these in a car? Just hot or cold, power of the fan and where it's coming out from. And on the VX220 it's only underneath the dash or the windscreen. And we have the luxury of a stereo. We don't even have electric windows, and I am a fan of that. Look at that, it's so simple, so nice. Why did we ever need to move past wind-up windows? I say that, but my first car, the 1-litre Nissan Micra, had wind-up windows, and I longed for electric windows back then. But in this car, I love it. Probably helps that I can sit here and I can reach that side, whereas in the Micra, it was a bit of a stretch. Anyway, I digress slightly. Look at the seats. There's no adjustment on these seats. The passenger seat doesn't even move backwards and forwards, unlike the driver's seat, which does, but that is the only adjustment on it. I admit, coming back from up north, sat in this car for 4 or 5 hours, however long it was, maybe it did start to get a bit uncomfortable by the end, but you know, it's probably not the car you would choose to do that journey in if you had the choice. I don't know, maybe you would. Maybe you'd take it to the south of France, who knows. And lastly, for the simplicity, we've got a 5-speed gearbox, and it feels lovely. It feels almost like a gated manual. You can hear how kind of clunky that is. Love it. With all of that, basically takes me to the number 2 reason why I bought this car. There is just not as much to go wrong on it as there is even on that car or the E90, which caused me no end of problems, as the Astra is at the moment. See my previous videos on that. And number 3, it's efficient. I am a big fan of efficiency because it is small and because it is light. Despite only having 145 horsepower being discharged from that, it does 0 to 60 in about 6 seconds, which isn't the quickest, I know. Potentially the Astra is even quicker than the VX220, but it is plenty enough for the road, believe me. And number 4, this is a bucket list car for me. Back in the day when I was working on the Vauxhalls, I had the 2 RX-7s and they were awesome. But this car was probably worth about 3 times as much as them. So it just didn't make sense. The RX-7s were amazing cars. Value for money wise, the RX-7s were the winner. I couldn't stretch to this at the time. But now, as with many cars from that era, the RX-7s have rocketed in value. For whatever reason, the VX220 never has, which I do find very strange, but I'm not going to complain because it has allowed me to now own one. And 5, I know I said I would cover this in a future video, but the cost is very relevant for why I bought this car. Of the 4 cars in the short I posted recently, we had the VX220, the Aston Martin, the Monaro and the VXR8. This is by far the cheapest of those cars. So this is 34,000 miles. For the money that I spent on this, if I was to get the Monaro or the VXR8, I'd be looking at 70, 80, 90, 100 plus miles for the price that I paid for this. And not only that, but like the M3, this is a potential investment car. I'm not pinning my hopes on it going up in value, and history says that it possibly won't because it never really has, but you never know. Hope you've enjoyed seeing the VX220 on the channel. I brought an up together example, as I explained in the last video on the E90. That is what I was looking for. The Astra is kicking my butt at the moment and I don't have time for another project car. So the goal of finding a tidy example has been achieved. But despite that, I'm sure we'll be seeing the VX220 on the channel a lot. One thing, it needs an MOT soon, and if it remains reliable and low maintenance, then we'll probably have to find something to do to it. Something like an exhaust maybe, because it's not very loud. Check this out. All I'm hearing there is engine. So there we have it then, a 20-year dream is fulfilled. And we will be back on the next video with the Astra. So thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I will see you then.